Do you ever feel exhausted, even when you haven't done a single thing all day? You wake up. The alarm rings, but before you even open your eyes, your chest feels heavy. You aren't tired from physical labor. You're not tired because you worked too hard. You are tired from the weight of everything you are avoiding. You think if you ignore the bills, they'll disappear. You think if you don't answer that difficult message, the problem will solve itself. You think if you stay busy with meaningless distractions, endless scrolling, useless videos, noise, that the pain will fade, but it doesn't. It follows you. It sits on your shoulder. It whispers in your ear while you try to sleep. Today, we need to talk about why that running is costing you your entire life. Meet Elias. He is 25 years old. Elias is smart. He's capable. He has dreams that keep him awake at night, but his life is a graveyard of unfinished things. A half-written resume on his laptop, a call to his family he hasn't made in months, a gym membership he hasn't used since January. Every time Elias sits down to work, he feels a sharp sting of anxiety. It isn't the work that scares him. It's the fear of being imperfect. It's the fear that if he tries and fails, he will have to admit that he isn't as good as he thinks he is. So, what does he do? He runs. He runs into the world of entertainment. He runs into the comfort of his phone. He tells himself, "I'll deal with it tomorrow. I'm just not in the mood today." But tomorrow always arrives, and the pile of unfinished business has only grown bigger. Elias isn't living. He's just hiding in plain sight. The problem with running is that you never actually reach a destination. You are simply moving from one place of discomfort to another. Elias started to notice something strange. The less he faced his problems, the louder they became in his mind. When he tried to sleep, his thoughts screamed. When he tried to laugh with his friends at dinner, his mind pulled him back to the emails he didn't send, the goals he didn't hit. He was essentially carrying a giant invisible backpack filled with stones. He refused to look inside the bag. He was afraid of how heavy it was. So he kept running. He was panting for breath. He was sweating. And he couldn't understand why everyone else seemed to move through life with such ease. The conflict wasn't the external world. The conflict was a lie. The lie that running would keep him safe. One afternoon, completely exhausted from the internal chase, Elias sat on a park bench. An old man sat down beside him. He wasn't looking at a phone. He wasn't looking at a watch. He was just present. Elias, feeling the crushing weight of his own life, let out a shaky breath. The old man looked at him, not with judgment, but with understanding. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, rusted iron key. "I spent 20 years running from the door this key opens," the old man said softly. Elias looked at him, confused. What was behind it? The old man smiled. "Nothing scary, just a pile of things I had left undone. Once I opened the door and started fixing them, the key became light. I realized the fear of the door was 1,000 times heavier than the door itself." In that moment, something shifted in Elias. He realized he wasn't afraid of the tasks. He was afraid of the truth. He was afraid to admit that he had been dishonest with himself. The shift wasn't magic. It was courage. He realized that running takes more energy than standing still. To run is to live in constant fear. To stand still and face the problem, that is the beginning of freedom. The moment he stopped running, the problem lost its power. It went from a monster chasing him to just a task waiting for his hands. You can spend your life running, or you can spend your time building. The problem you are avoiding right now is only huge because you are refusing to look at it. Pick one thing today, just one thing that you've been running from. Face it, look at it, tackle it. You will find that the monster was only a shadow, and the shadow only exists when you turn your back to the light. Stop running. Your life is waiting for you to turn around. If this story touched you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories. And tell me in the comments, what is one thing you are finally going to face today?